the village of Ota, the elders have a saying, when the fruit is too sweet, look for the worm inside. They say this because of Ada. Ada was not just beautiful. She was a masterpiece. Her skin was the colour of deep mahogany, polished by the sun. Her eyes were bright like the morning star. Her laughter sounded like water flowing over smooth stones. But Ada had a sickness. It was not a sickness of the body, but of the mind. She was drunk on her own beauty. She believed she was too good for the earth she walked on, and that pride would almost cost her her soul. It was the season of the New Yam Festival. The air in Ota smelled of roasted goat meat and palm wine. Every young man in the village had gathered at the square, hoping to find a wife. But they were all looking at one girl, Ada. First came Emeka. He was the strongest farmer in Ota. His barns were overflowing with yams. He could wrestle a bull to the ground. He approached Ada with a shy smile. Ada, be my wife. You will never know hunger. She looked at his hands. They were rough, stained with the red earth of the farm. She laughed, a cruel, high-pitched laugh. You? She sneered. Look at your fingernails. They are dirty. Do you expect a diamond like me to hold hands with a digger of dirt? Move away. Emeka walked away, his head low. The villagers murmured. Next came Prince Jidenna. He was the son of a neighbouring king. He wore beads of coral and gold. Ada, he said, bowing, be my queen. I will drape you in silk. She looked at his face. Your nose is too wide, she said, checking her reflection in a mirror. And you are too short. I cannot marry a man I have to look down upon. Go back to your palace. Her father, Papa Obi, watched this with a heavy heart. He pulled her aside. Ada, he whispered harshly. What are you doing? These are good men, men of substance. Beauty fades, my daughter. Soup does not taste sweet because the pot is shiny. It tastes sweet because of the ingredients inside. Ada tossed her braids. Papa Obi, stop preaching. I am special. I will not settle for these common men. I will only marry a man who is perfect, a man with no flaws. A man who looks like a god. Papa Obi shook his head. Be careful, Ada. The spirits listen to such arrogance, and sometimes they answer. 3 market days later, the answer came. It was high noon. The sun was punishing. The dust of the market was thick. Suddenly, the noise of the market stopped. The haggling ceased. The chickens stopped clucking. A silence fell over Ota. Walking through the village square was the stranger. He was breathtaking. He was tall, towering over every other man. His skin was flawless, smooth, glowing, and radiant. He wore a robe of velvet so red it looked like fresh blood, embroidered with threads of real gold. He walked with a glide, his feet barely touching the dust. He had no scar, no sweat, no dirt. He was perfect. Ada dropped her basket of peppers. Her heart hammered against her ribs like a trapped bird. That is him, she whispered. That is the one I have waited for. She did not wait for him to speak. She broke all tradition. She ran to him, pushing through the crowd. Stranger, she called out. I am Ada, the most beautiful girl in Oda. The stranger stopped. He turned slowly. His smile was dazzling, revealing teeth as white as cowries. "I know who you are," the stranger said. His voice was deep, smooth like oil. "I have heard of your beauty from far away. I am a prince from the land of spirits. I have come for a wife who is worthy of my perfection." Ada grabbed his arm. The velvet felt cold, but she didn't care. "I am worthy," she cried. "Take me." She dragged him to Papa Obi compound. "Papa, look," she shouted. "Look at his face. Look at his clothes. Is he not a god? I am leaving with him." Papa Obi looked at the stranger. He looked into the man's eyes. Most men have a light in their eyes, a spark of life. This man, his eyes were flat, dark, like a deep well with no water. "Ada," Papa Obi pleaded, gripping her hand. "We do not know his family. We do not know his village. His name is not known to us. Wait. Let us ask the oracle." "I will not wait," she screamed, pulling her hand away. "You are jealous. You want me to rot here with the farmers. I am going." She packed her bags in a frenzy. She took her best wrappers, her jewelry, her mirror. As she walked out of the compound, clinging to the arm of the perfect stranger, she did not look back at her weeping father. She only looked at the handsome face of her new husband, thinking she had won the world. They walked for hours. At first, Ada was happy. She chattered endlessly. "We will build a palace," she said. "I will have 10 servants. Everyone in Otar will be so envious of me." The stranger said nothing. He just smiled, that fixed, perfect smile. They left the village lands. They passed the farmlands. They entered the great forest. The trees here were different. They were twisted, their branches locking together like skeletal fingers, blocking out the sun. The air grew cold. Ada shivered. She noticed that the birds had stopped singing. "Husband," she said, "where is your kingdom? It is getting dark." "Soon, my love," the stranger said. "Soon." They came to a clearing. An old man sat on a log. He was missing a leg. The stranger stopped. "Old man," the stranger said, "I have returned." The old man looked up. "Did the legs serve you well?" "They served me well. I caught the prize." The stranger pointed at Ada. "Good," the old man said. "Give them back." Ada watched, confused. "Give what back?" The stranger let go of her hand. He reached down to his thighs. With a sickening click, he unlocked his right leg, then his left. He detached his long, muscular, perfect legs. He handed them to the old man. Underneath, there were only bones. 2 white, rattling shin bones. Ada screamed. She backed away, covering her mouth. "Husband!" she cried. "Your legs! What happened?" The stranger, now much shorter, wobbling on his bone stumps, turned to her. "Do not ask questions," he commanded. His voice was different now, less smooth, more hollow. "Walk." He grabbed her wrist. His grip was like iron. He dragged her deeper into the forest. "I want to go home," she wept. "You cannot go home," he said. "You chose perfection. Now you must walk with it." They walked for another mile. Ada stumbled, terrified, staring at the white bones moving beneath his velvet robe. They reached a riverbank. A spirit floated on the water. It had no arms. I have returned, the stranger called out. Did the arms serve you well? The spirit hissed. They served me well. He reached to his shoulders. Crack! He pulled off his broad, strong arms. He threw them to the spirit, now sleeveless. His torso revealed only a ribcage and 2 dangling arm bones. Keep moving, he rattled. Ada fell to her knees in the mud. Please, she begged. I was foolish. Let me go to my father, Papa Obi. The stranger laughed. It was a dry sound, like leaves crushing. You judge the farmers for their dirty nails, he mocked. But at least they had hands. You judge the prince for his nose. Now, look at mine. They reached the mouth of a dark cave. A vulture sat on a rock. I have returned, the stranger said. Did the skin serve you well? The vulture croaked. It was beautiful, the stranger said. It caught a fool. He reached behind his neck. He found a seam in the flesh. Slowly, painfully, he peeled. He pulled the velvet skin over his head. He pulled off the handsome face. He pulled off the lips Ada had kissed. He pulled off the chest, the back, the flawless mahogany skin. He dropped the pile of flesh on the ground. Standing before Ada was not a man. It was a skull. A complete, bleached, white skeleton. No eyes, no nose. Just a grinning set of teeth and empty black sockets staring at her. Welcome home, my bride, the skull said. His jaw clicked as he spoke. Clack, clack. She screamed until her voice broke. She tried to run, but the skull was fast. He moved like a spider, scrambling over the rocks. He tackled her, dragging her into the darkness of the cave. The cave was a nightmare. It was cold and damp. The floor was littered with the jewelry of girls who had come before, other girls who had been blinded by beauty. You are my wife now, the skull said. You will serve me. He placed a heavy iron chain around her ankle. For weeks, Ada lived in hell. She had to cook for the skull. But what does a skeleton eat? He made her cook dust and dead beetles. He made her polish his bones with oil every morning. Shine my ribs, he would command. I must look good for my next trip. Her beauty began to fade. Her skin, once polished and smooth, became grey and covered in sores. Her hair, once braided and beaded, became matted and wild. Her eyes, once bright with pride, became hollow with fear. She realized the truth of her father, Papa Obi, words. The farmers she rejected had warm hands. This monster had only cold bone. The prince she rejected had a short stature, but he had a beating heart. This monster had a hole where a heart should be. I was a fool, she whispered to the darkness. I was a diamond wrapped in mud, but I chased a piece of glass. One day, the skull announced he was leaving. I need a new wife, he said. You are broken now. You are ugly. I need fresh beauty. He went to the pile of borrowed parts. He put on the legs. He put on the arms. He put on the skin. He transformed back into the handsome stranger. Guard the house, he told his mother, an old blind spirit woman who lived in the back of the cave. Do not let her leave. As soon as the skull left, Ada knew this was her only chance. She looked at the old woman. Mama, she said, her voice trembling. Let me fetch water for you. Your feet are dusty. The old woman, though blind, was sharp. You want to run. No, Mama, Ada lied. I have accepted my fate, but a good wife must serve water. The old woman hesitated. Go, but if you run, the forest will eat you. Ada took the water pot. She walked to the stream. As soon as she was out of sight, she dropped the pot. And she ran. She ran like she had never run before. She ignored the thorns tearing her skin. She ignored the stones cutting her feet. She ran toward the direction of the sun, toward Ota. But the skull was magical. He sensed her escape. From miles away, he turned around. He shed his skin, his arms, his legs in seconds. He became the rolling skeleton again. He rolled on the ground like a wheel, faster than a cheetah. Clack, 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 clack. She could hear the rattling behind her. It was getting louder. You cannot hide, the skull shrieked. She saw the edge of the forest. She saw the farmlands of Ota. Papa! Papa! Obi! She screamed. Help me! The skull was inches away. His bony hand reached out to grab her ankle. Suddenly, a shot rang out. Boom! A cloud of smoke filled the air. Standing at the edge of the forest was Papa Obi. Beside him was Emeka, the farmer Ada had rejected. Emeka held a smoking Dane gun. He had shot the skull. The skeleton shattered into 1,000 pieces of white dust, screaming as the wind carried him away. Ada collapsed into her father's arms. She was unrecognizable. She was thin, bleeding, and dirty. Papa, she sobbed. I am sorry. I am so sorry. Papa Obi held her tight. You are alive, my daughter. That is all that matters. Emeka, the farmer with the rough hands, took off his own wrapper and covered Ada's shivering body. He did not mock her. He did not say, I told you so. He simply offered his strength. Come, Emeka said gently, let us go home. It took many months for Ada to heal. The scars on her feet faded, but the memory never did. She was still beautiful, but her pride was gone. When she walked to the stream, she greeted everyone, the elders, the children, the beggars. And when it was time to marry, she did not look for the tallest man. She did not look for the richest man. She married Emeka. On their wedding day, people whispered, Why him? He is just a farmer. He has dirt under his nails. Ada smiled. She took Emeka's rough, warm hand in hers. His hands are rough, she told them, but they are his own. And inside his chest there is a heart, not a hole. The shiny fruit may be rotten inside. Listen to the wisdom of those who love you, for the eyes of the young see the surface, but the eyes of the elders see the spirit. Have you ever ignored a red flag because someone looked perfect? Or did you listen to your elders? Tell me your story in the comments. Thank you for watching Luchy's Storytime. Where you're watching from? And please don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.